I don't even know where to start. You were a little help. Hi, hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Shout out to all access Patreon members. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And if you haven't already connected with me over on Patreon, it's completely free to join and you'll still get some perks. I'll occasionally drop a YouTube video early over there, or I'll give access to one of the extended versions that's usually for the all access members. If YouTube ever blocks a video, it will be available for free on Patreon, plus it's ad free. However, if you are interested, there is an all access membership that you can purchase that gets you early access to all of my content, extended versions, all the connected visuals with the albums, like music videos, live performances, interviews, and they won't be blurred, more weigh in on what I do, things like that. All of the information will be in the description below. I'm back. It is another day. I doubt you'll be able to tell on camera, but I did just have my hair be done in between the first part that I filmed this video and today. So if I look different, I did get my hair cut. Granted, cuts for me are like minute. My hair is actually like dark blue. As it fades, it just gets more black and kind of gets more like warm toned instead of cool toned. But anyways, just wanted to explain that I have had that done in between filming part 1 and part 2, which was not ideal, but you know, here we are. Have not listened to the beginning half again, just because I didn't want those things to settle or give me too many clues for what's to come, if you will. So I have not listened to it, although it was a little hard, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any cats up here currently, but Legend is in here asleep, so try to get this knocked out before the cats return or went back up here. We kind of left on where I was kind of hoping maybe we were taking a turning point. Not that I don't expect there to be ups and downs throughout each song, but I think maybe Purple Hearts made me feel like surrender spot where he was like, okay, maybe I do need to actually do this, not necessarily like deflect or avoid. Count me out. I'm interested to know where we go from here. Let's jump into it.
Mr. Duckworth.
All of these hoes make it difficult.
Session 10. Breakthrough.
I'm just saying, sometimes I get it right. Sometimes I get it really wrong. Just depends. Session 10. I'm assuming we're talking about like some sort of session. I'm assuming like therapy, and this is kind of like a turning point, breakthrough.
One of these lives, I'ma make these right with the wrongs I done. That's when I unite with the father, son. Till then I fight. Rain on me, put the blame on me. Got guilt, got hurt, got shame on me. Got 6 magazines that's aimed at me. Done every magazine was fame to me. It's a game to me with the bedroom mat. Sleep, I ain't never had a fast with that. What's fair when the hearts and the words don't reach? What's fair when the money don't take things back? It's rare when somebody take your dreams back. I care too much, wanna share too much. In my head too much, I shut down too. I ain't there too much. I'm a complex soul. They layered me up, then broke me down. And morality's dust, I lack in trust. This time around I trust myself. Please everybody else but myself. All else fails, I was myself. Outdone fear, outdone myself. This year you better won yourself. Mask on the babies, mask on the op. Wear mask in the neighborhood stores you shop, but a mask won't hide who you are inside. Look around, the reality's carved in lies. Wipe my ego, dodge my pride. Look myself.
First of all, sonically, I really like this. It feels so different than I think about like the first few tracks. This does feel a little bit of like, let's actually talk about this, versus the defensiveness, the distance, how it felt like that ego was popping in and out. That's not something new. We had that in Damn with the ego popping in and out, but it really started so heavily at the beginning of the album. This feels very different in my opinion. Also, there's something about the way he's, I want to say it's reminding me he's delivering his, like, I say delivering his lines, I mean, I guess that kind of fits with the whole play theme, but it feels like, I want to say it's in section 80, where he sounds kind of similar. I don't know what it's reminding me of. If I think of it in editing, I'll let you know. That said, one of these lives, I'm gonna make things right. That makes me think of past lives, like exploring that side of spirituality. Be meaning that in like 2 different ways. In a spirituality sense of past lives, reincarnation type thing. You could also mean it as like, I don't know if that's like a universal experience, but it almost feels like as we grow and evolve, as we age, it's almost like we think of our old selves as almost past versions of ourselves. He may be meaning it both. With the father, son, till then I fight. I know there's the theories of like your soul comes back until you reach your highest self or you get in alignment or you do what's right. It almost sounds like he's kind of combining that and his other views on religion. Like once he gets it right, he'll be able to like go to heaven, kind of what I'm thinking, rain on me, put the blame on me, got guilt, got hurt, got shame on me. This is interesting. They got 6 magazines that's aimed at me like a firearm, but then the 6 magazines as in magazine covers, what's fame to me. It's a game to me. Where the bedroom at? I'm assuming that's referencing the lust addiction, because then it says sleep. I ain't ever had affairs with that. Where it's like, it's a game to me. I'm just playing the game, whether that mean industry or the game of life. Where the bedroom at? Because that's one of his coping mechanisms, is how I'm taking that. What's fair when the money don't take things back? It's rare when someone take your dreams back. Kind of feels like when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? What happens when things don't work out? What do you do? How do you cope with disappointments in life, with roadblocks, with tragedies, things like that? I care too much, want to share too much. In my head too much, I shut down too. I didn't necessarily hear that call out, but I read it. I ain't there too much, I'm a complex soul. They layered me up, then broke me down. God, listen, I'm so sorry. We just had the year anniversary of Taylor's most recent album. That album to me is the most like put your soul on a platter that she's ever been. I think it's a very misunderstood album. If you're someone who's a fan since the beginning, if you're someone who's really deep in the lore, if you're someone who cares about her as a person, this album just means so much to you, not only because it just feels so authentic, but it also just feels like if you do resonate with her, I mean, it seems wild to be like, I can resonate with her. She's a global pop star. But she's been in similar situations where mine will never be able to equate to the level that she is. But the way people behaved, the way I was and how I approached it, things like that, there's so much similarities. For me, I see a lot of how I process things and how I deal with things in her music. I said this, in the first tracks where, I was seeing some things that really resonated with me in a way that few artists do for me personally. And I'm seeing that again, and I'm worried that means that we're gonna have a lot more of that. Okay, I care too much, want to share too much, like the oversharing. I feel that. Seeing so many parallels between her recent album and this, and then also feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing things for me as a person on both. Wild. Okay, anyways. In my head too much, I shut down too. Feel that? Where it's almost like she has a song called I Hate It Here. Like, I hate it here, so I go to secret gardens in my mind that you need a key to get to. The only one is mine. I ain't there too much. I'm a complex soul. Oh, this is good. Okay. They layered me up and then broke me down. There may be a different meaning to that, but I take that as like, they boosted me up, they put me on this pedestal, but then the moment you make a very human mistake, or it's not even that he necessarily made a mistake, like, just him taking a step back, taking time for himself, a very human thing to do, they're like coming after him. I'm sure there's multi-layered meanings to that. Probably if we're talking about this as like a therapy session, maybe as he was growing up and things like that. I mean, except for the things that I've learned in the songs, I don't really know a lot about his childhood other than what we've been given. And I don't really remember him talking too much about how people necessarily received him. I know that Taylor around her peers was very much an outsider, but then I think she was around adults a lot, which is how I grew up as well. I could carry on a conversation with an adult. I could have a deeper discussion with an adult as a child. And honestly, it was easier for me to do that than it was to like play with kids. And it was just because I was around them so much and was praised so much for that you end up kind of wanting that validation, even if you don't recognize it at the time. I don't know if he's, got any of that in his past where people expected things of him, or, to me, it also reminds me of growing up too fast, the things that he's seen. My growing up too fast was in a different way, but the things that he's seen growing up, and then it's like you get broke down when reality hits. I think there's layers, and I'm sure it's probably meant to be complex like that. And morality's dust. I lack in trust. This time around, I trust myself. I like how the background has that, and I'm tripping and I'm falling. Because like you're never going to just be up all the time. But this time around, I trust myself. I think that kind of ties back to the past lives or the versions of himself. This time I'm going to trust myself. Please everyone else but myself. Ooh, people pleasing. All else fails, I was myself. Like at least I was authentic. Outdone fear, outdone myself. This year, you better won yourself. Masks on the babies, masks on an op. Also learned this fun fact that I was thinking ops like operations because I was thinking of like business. So when we heard that in Black Panther, the album, I didn't really know that was like a slang term for opposition, like an enemy or people who oppose you. Didn't know that. Learned something new. A mask won't hide who you are inside. Look around, the realities carved in the lies. I brought this up a couple times in my predictions about how I'm assuming this, might be a journey of self-reflection, and then the album is him turning the mirror. It's like, this is what I just went through. Now, Salem, one second. Oh, okay, you're gonna join. Baby, the camera's too high, they can't see you. I'm so sorry. It serves obviously a multi-purpose, because it's like, hey, this is what I've been going through while all of you have been saying all this stuff, and I wasn't doing enough or whatever. And then it's also a response to the people who's been putting him up on a pedestal as like, hey, you can call me, savior of rap or whatever, but at the same time, I am also a human who makes mistakes and who has things going on. And then I think the bigger layer is almost like, if I've just uncovered all this about myself and gone through this journey, before you place judgments or whatever, like, you might want to take a look at yourself too. Hey, like, have you looked in the mirror lately? Because I just looked in the mirror and there was a lot. That's the kind of vibe I feel. So but a mask won't hide who you are. Look around, the reality's carved in lies. Wipe my ego, dodge my pride. I guess ultimately, I just think it's a really cool concept, because now that we're starting to get into him kind of looking at himself more, I think we're going to get more and more of this. If you think I'm talking about someone else and not myself, then maybe you're seeing these threads in other people. I'm wondering if he's going to play more into the I, you, we, me, and you don't really know. Is he talking about himself? Is he talking about someone else? And if he is just talking about himself and you recognize someone else, then perhaps that says something about how the other person that you're thinking of is presenting themselves, right? There's been a few times that I've been like, is that about someone? And I'm almost wondering if he did it in that way where it kind of highlights, I guess it was just kind of me thinking more about the family ties, or thinking more about like the heart part 5 and talking about like the culture. Maybe he's highlighting that these are kind of like mortal wounds, if you will. Culture as itself almost has. Whether that be industry and how the ego and the fame and all of these things. He's like, I'm guilty of this. Is anybody else? Are you? The listener? I think it's just an interesting concept. It's not necessarily something he hasn't done before. It feels like each time he's done this, he builds on it, and it also becomes more and more saturated in layers. In To Pimp a Butterfly, for example, I felt like distinct layers. Everything throughout that album, I was like, oh, I see it this way and this way, like these two parallel layers. And then Damn, it started to get a little bit more mixed in. And this, it's almost impossible for me in a way to tell who he's talking about. Baby, you are going to fall or knock over the camera. I don't know if that makes sense, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling so far. Hey, you're attacking your day. Hey. Who are you? He's starting to learn to play more because of the kittens, and it's so funny because he just never did. Him and Osio just never played much, but now he's getting a little bit.
The reality's carved in lies. Wipe my ego, dodge my pride. Look myself in the mirror. Amityville ain't seen nothing scarier. I fought like a pit bull terrier. Blood I shed could fill up aquariums. Tell all my angels carry them. Every emotion been deprived.
Salem. We're in the middle of a reaction video. Can you sit right here? I literally have a blanket up here for you. It's a nice blanket. Salem, I need to get this video done because I'm not going to edit it in time, and I cannot miss this drop. Patreon. Like, I literally cannot miss this drop. He's like, but what about me? What about my moment as channel mascot? I've got to brush him. All of his winter fur is, that's my laptop, that's my laptop, that's my laptop, that's my laptop. Oh my god. Okay, Salem, I need you to focus.
All of my angels carry them. Every emotion been deprived. Even my strong points couldn't survive. If I didn't learn to love myself, forgive myself 100 times, dog.
Oh.
I I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. I love
That though? Oh, he did say, look myself in the mirror. I didn't even see that line. Oops. That's my bad. Love that we're bringing Amityville. That's just wild. I ain't seen nothing scarier. Now my point is pointless because I didn't realize the mirror line. Because I was about to be like, I love when you count me out. I was about to say, see, you would think that would be about external world, but I think that he's talking to himself. But again, we already had the mirror line, so maybe just ignore me.
you count me out. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it up.
Ooh.
How you gonna wear my shorts when the lights run deep? How you gonna bend your love when the bed don't sleep? Deep beat, crash out feelings in the middle of the street. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it up. When you was at your lowest, tell me where the hoes was at. When you was at your lowest, tell me where the bros was at. 3:30 in the morning, scroll through the call log. Ain't nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off. I love when you count me out.
This feels a reflection on you in a way. I don't know if that's actually how he intended it, but just the how you gonna win my trust when the lies run deep. He's not only talking about lies in general, but also lies to himself. How you gonna bend your love when the bad don't sleep? Beep beep crash our feelings, because the mirror, oh I love this, feelings in the middle of the street. And then that when you was at your lowest, tell me, where's the hose at? Did your lust, all of these affairs actually help you cope? I grieve different. And it's like, but did they actually help you? In the end, when you think back on it, did it actually help? And then the same thing too with the when you were at your lowest, where the bros was at. Where it's like, you know, do you have people who actually care about you, or are they just people who want something from you? Which I'm sure is extremely difficult to deal with as a public figure. More and more you see success and fame and things like that, the more and more you'd have to be very careful about the people you bring around you. It can be that, but it also can be, did you push people away? You know, did you seek help or did you hide? Did you hide those feelings and pain? I talked about this before with like a patriarchal society. I think this is applicable regardless, universal, just humans. It doesn't matter how you identify. That's a human experience, right? But I feel like a lot of times in a patriarchal society, we have, and I think I even talked about this a couple of the earlier tracks, when you don't let young boys express their emotions and we push this hyper masculinity, it makes it so hard to talk about things, to have conversations about things, because it's looked at as if that is not manly, as if that is only like a feminine thing. And it does such a disservice to everyone involved. I have to wonder if part of this too is, you know, were you pushing someone away? Did you not want to tell anybody about this pain? You know, do you have that in your circle? It makes me so mad too, because honestly, the people I connect with the most, for me, when I see like hyper masculinity, stereotypical masculinity, that does not radiate masculinity to me. That radiates, I want to say opposite, but I think a lot of people would say opposite equals feminine. That's not how I mean it. But men who can have conversations, men who can talk about their feelings. I'm not saying you have to be in your feels all the time. I'm just saying that you can have a conversation about them. You can recognize them. You don't just stuff them down. Those people who can have conversations, or especially about like sexuality and things like that, or men who maybe come off to a lot of people as more like feminine, those are the people who I feel like are really secure in their masculinity, because they can talk about these things. It's not, oh well, if I do this it's gonna look a certain way. No, I'm strong in who I am as a person. Sorry, I hope that made sense. But my point is that I have to wonder if that's like a facet of it too, not just the fame people who are just using you. 3:30 in the morning, scroll through the call log, ain't nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off. Oof.
I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. My name is in your mouth. Sure.
This don't take more than I to stop. Call 911, call the body. Sign out now, because the day is fading. The feeling's only a mile away.
Let me tell you about the woman I know.
That's my baby.
I know karma like to follow us strong. I know millionaires that feel alone. Anytime I couldn't find God, I still could find myself through a song. Many find their life in the phone. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. You said I feel better if I just worked hard without lifting my head up. That left me fed up. You made me worry. I wanted my best version, but you ignored me. Then changed the story. Good energy in the room, drop the location, please. Antibiotic for the wound when I'm frustrated. Tryna keep my good conscience in rotation. Thoughts in my head, they living there with no. Tryna keep my good. I made a decision, never give you my feelings. Fuck what you from. Fuck with you from a distance. I put it on the devil when they fall short. I put it on my ego, Lord of all lords. Sometimes I fall for doubt. I love when you count me out.
Now I think we switch to where we are maybe talking about someone. Or could this be him basically addressing the lust addiction or the people he's allowing to be around him even though he knows they're not good people for him? Saying, I have to let these things go. I have to push these things, these like bad coping mechanisms to the side. He's still talking about himself, but it's almost like he's recognizing that these things aren't good for him or these people aren't good for him. My name is in your mouth. It's going to take more than pride to stop. I think part of this is him talking to himself, but I think as this goes on, I think he's starting to talk more about the external. Yesterday's fading, healing's only 1 mile away. I'm making steps towards this. Let me tell you about the women I know. That's my baby. I know karma like to follow us strong. I know millionaires that feel alone. Anytime I couldn't find God, I still could find myself through a song. That's beautiful. Many find their life in a phone. So this is where I think it's starting to turn a little bit. You said I'd feel better if I just worked hard. Well, I mean, he could still be talking to himself. Like his bad habits, where it's like things that we were taught is, well, if you think about Father Time, when he's like, you just got to keep picking yourself back up. Maybe he's talking to his ego, which inherently would represent all these negative coping mechanisms, such as the women he's having affairs with. I feel like that would make sense. I know millionaires that feel alone. Well, he's already talked about he felt alone. Think about you. Think about him saying money doesn't necessarily solve your problems. You said I'd feel better if I just worked hard. Without lifting my head up, that left me fed up. You made me worry. I wanted my best version, but you ignored me. Then changed the story. I don't know. I think he could be talking to his ego and all that his ego has led him to, which are those negative coping mechanisms. Either way, that few lines, oof. Even if he is talking about that, or even if he is talking about certain people, that hurts. Someone changing the narrative, especially when it makes you the villain, when you're like, but I didn't do these things. Antibiotic for the womb when I'm frustrated. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, that line kind of throws me. Football in here. Okay, I'm gonna throw out some wild things. When I first thought womb, I was thinking like mother. So I was thinking maybe we were getting into like childhood stuff. But then I was like, wait, there's really no other context around that. But there has been for the lust addiction. So is he talking about when he gets frustrated, when he's needing to cope? This is more like a sexual innuendo? I'm gonna need to sit with that. Or you guys tell me how you take that. I feel like I'm way off on that one. Some put it on the devil when they fall short. Oh, I get it. That makes total sense though with what I was saying. Because think about him and Damn being like, I'm cursed. Not saying that I'm invalidating that aspect of that album, but I just mean sometimes you put things up to like, well, I'm just cursed. And you're not looking for ways that maybe you're causing some harm to yourself, or you don't have good coping mechanisms, or haven't healed your trauma. You haven't addressed certain things. And he says, I put it on my ego, Lord of all lords. It's his ego that's taking the reins and putting him into these places a lot of the times.
I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. I love when you count me out. My name is in your mouth. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it up. Miss regrets, I believe that you done it. Miss regrets, can you please exit out my own? Miss regret, I think I'm better off alone.
Okay, if he's talking about lust, he's talking about his affairs. Is that like a call out to Miss Regrets? What's that song? I have it on a playlist. Hold on, I'm on Spotify. Miss Otis. I have it by Ella Fitzgerald, but I don't think she's the one who actually sang it first. It's on an album that's like a dedication, right? That's right, Cole Porter. That has to be what he's talking about, right? And to the man who let her, like, who, quote, led her astray kind of thing, shoots the lover, and she gets killed. Yeah, Mr. Gretz, I believe you've done me wrong. Mr. Gretz, can you please exit out of my home? I think I'm better off alone. If not, that is a weird coincidence. I feel like it has to be. He's had too many call-outs to songs throughout history. That has to be what that is. That's so cool, though. Cool that he included that. Okay, I need to listen to that again.
Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up, fucking it up. Miss regrets, I believe that you done it. Miss regrets, can you please exit out my own. Miss regret, I think I'm better off alone. Miss regret, I got this deep regret. Some things I can't forget. Lord knows I tried my best. You said it's not my best. I came about my flesh. Some things I must confess. Spoke my truth, paid my debt. Can't you see I'm a wreck? Let me loose. I digress. This is me, and I'm blessed. 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 Anybody fighting through the stress? Anybody fighting through the...
Listen to the transition. Absolutely one of my favorites. I loved that song. Okay, I've spent so much time on this song. He's definitely making progress. I understand why the song starts out with a breakthrough, because that's definitely what you got. Lord knows I tried my best. You said it's not my best. I came out my flesh. Some things I must confess. Spoke my truth, paid my debt. Can't you see I'm a wreck? Oh, that's the suckiest thing about healing. A lot of times, like, you almost get worse before you get better, because you have to drag all those skeletons out of the closet and address it. A lot of people in the beginning of their healing journey are like, well, then I could just continue within my closet. But it's like, no, it's literally eating you alive. The dam will break. A lot of times you can have even more negative effects than just when you pull them out. It's so unpredictable how those breaks can happen, and it can be dangerous. We've seen this already with him, with those things kind of eating him alive with you. Luckily, he made it through that. And it's not just that aspect. I mean, that's where a lot of people's end up, but the way it can impact, I mean, you can have harms on other people. I mean, you just don't know. He's also like, he can say that to the other people, he can say it to himself, like giving him some grace. Let me lose, I digress, this is me and I'm blessed. And these are almost like affirmations where he's like, this is me and I'm blessed. And I like that yeah, because it makes me think of like Yah from Damn, of like the Yahweh kind of thing, where now he's like listening to the things being picked up on his radar. Maybe I may be taking that too far. But either way, even with my scars, baggage that I have, like, this is me and I'm still blessed. Anybody fighting through the... and it stops. I like that he leaves it open for interpretation, because I'm sure there's a lot of different ways you could fill that in. Oh, but the fighting through the stress. Oh, God, I feel that deep in my soul. Next up, we have Crown. I love how I didn't look at the track list. I had to have seen it once because I put it in my spreadsheet when I was doing things before I switched to my project management software. It was so long ago. I was mostly copy and pasting at that point. But either way, now that I've said that, now I'm curious. Oh, I did kind of look at the track list because I was looking for Auntie Diaries and all that to see where they were. Count Me Out, Crown, Silent Hill. Why does that sound familiar? Savior, Interlude, Savior, Auntie Diaries, Mr. Morale, Mother I Sober, Mirror. Oh! I didn't realize the last track was Mirror. Oh.
You walk around like everything is in control. Favor come with favors and you can't say no. Go out the way to make the coin available. That's what I call love.
Oh, that's a wound.
Oh, the closest one's afraid to say they need some time. The turnaround is life or death, but you don't mind. Go out the way to say you made the compromise. That's what I call love. For the time it'll go and I'll be there when somebody needs you. You say no and all you done give them amnesia. One thing I've learned, love can change with the seasons. And I can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody. Wait, you can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody.
Okay, this has to be him somewhat talking about the public perception, because you walk around like everything's in control. Favor come with favors and you can't say no. Go out the way to make the coin available. That's what I call love. That makes me a little bit think about when he was like talking about Whitney 100K thing in one of the earlier songs. It's almost like if I work hard enough and I can provide for people, like, that's enough. But, you know, you got Whitney saying essentially like, emotionally, you're not here kind of thing. When you're favored in the public, in the industry, whatever, it comes with favors and you feel like you can't say no. Interesting. Okay. The closest one's afraid to say they need some time. I don't know if he's talking about other people or if he's talking about himself. I'm sure that made him afraid to step back. The turnaround is life or death, but you don't mind. Go out the way and say you made a compromise. That's what I call love. I love this album because some of the other albums, I feel like it's been easier to pick out when he's talking about external versus internal. It's not easy. He always makes it difficult. But this one, it is so embedded. For me personally, it's really hard to tell because I can take this so many ways. I think that's the beauty of it too. That's what I really love about Taylor's lyrics too. There's so many levels to them that you can take it so many different ways. She also likes to hide things. The best example I can use off the top of my head is My Tears Ricochet, where she's talking about the betrayal of her masters being sold to someone who was one of the worst people you could have sold it to for her, and someone who she considered family, someone who she considered like a second dad to her, betraying her and her life's work. But it sounds like a breakup. If you didn't know the context, you would assume that it's about a relationship, but it's not. And that's kind of the vibe that some of these songs are giving me, and I love songs like that. His own actions or other people's actions or the expectations of him. This is where I say I think that he's talking about a little bit about the public perception, but the time it'll come to not be there. When somebody needs you and you say no and all you've done gives them amnesia. I've talked about this multiple times, this video and in Family Ties and in The Heart Part 5. You've got all these people coming for him, and do you not, like, I've been doing this. Like, I'm not allowed to take a step back and do things for myself that I need to do for my mental health and for my family. All of a sudden they forget all the things he's done up until this point. Every single album has been a dedication to him trying to make things better. That just flies out the window. What a beautiful way to say things. I love a good, like, beautiful call out, not straight in your face like, hey, screw you for this. It's so much more complex than that. It reminds me a lot of the, sorry, I'm on a Taylor comparison today. I mean, I always am, but like, I've been listening to a lot of the Torture Pose Department and it's showing. There's a song called But Daddy I Love Him. It's a call out to the toxic fans that did all this horrible stuff. If you were not one of them, you hear the song, you know what she's talking about. And just watching people like try to figure it out and then like start to come to the realization, and oh my gosh. But I love call outs like that that are just a little bit more subtle. Also, you know, trying to remind himself like, I can't please everybody. I can't please everybody. Wait, you can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody. Trying to remember the things that he's starting to learn as he's starting to unpack these things. Wait. Remember how I talked about how a lot of times you think something is rooted in a recent event, but it goes back to your childhood, even if you don't realize it? If Mother I Sober and Auntie Diaries are later in the track list, are we working back in time? That's how a lot of therapy sessions go. Start with the present, and then you slowly work your way back. A lot of times people think you start at the beginning, but you're trying to get to the deeper wounds or childhood wounds, the lust thing. And now he's talking about like the call outs. To me, those are more recent to his, sorry, I'm talking out loud. I wonder if it's gonna be like that. Okay, we just need to see. Okay, moving on. I love this production.
They idolize and praise your name across the nation. Tap the feet and nod the head for confirmation. Promise that you keep the music in rotation.
Oh,
That's what I call love.
when shit hit the fan, are you still a fan?
But the time it'll come could not be there when somebody needs you. You say no, and all you've done gives them amnesia. One thing I've learned, love can change with the seasons. And I can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody. Wait, you can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody. And I can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody.
Sounds like you would hear something like this in a play. I mean, it really does. You feel like you could hear this in a musical of the character on this, you know, having this like monologue, kind of trying to remember the things that they're learning. Something with like cadence. You guys know I'm not good with the whole rhyme schemes and all that stuff, but like I said, like this sounds like something you would hear in a play. Like I wasn't a full-fledged theater kid, but I was a theater kid. I definitely was not upstage performing, but like behind the scenes, sign me up. And this just kind of reminds me of that. I wish so badly I could verbalize. I don't even know what I'm seeing. I just know it reminds me of that. I wish I understood it enough to be able to identify if what I'm seeing is something. That sounds so stupid. But like, you know what I mean? If anybody knows what I'm talking about, please let me know, because it's gonna drive me nuts.
Wait, you can't please everybody. No, I can't please everybody. Heavy is the head that chose to wear the crown. Your home is given.
I am so sorry. The play aspect, and then you hit me with kind of like a spin-off of a Shakespeare line. Stop. What's the real line? No. No, what is it? Something, the head that wears the crown. Okay, I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna bother me. Hi, Salem. It's King Henry the Fourth. There you go. King, right? Line about the crown. Uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. A man can die once, we owe a death. Wow, there's a nice motor you got. Oh, him came out for Shakespeare. Fun fact, I like remember random lines for like no reason. I wish I could just highlight the files in my brain that I want to discard and like put them away so I could like free up some space for useful things. Because tell me why I can still remember Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. Like, why do I remember that, but I can't remember something important? I digress. Okay, sorry. I got really excited about the whole Shakespeare thing. Okay, I need to go back.
Heavy is the head that chose to wear the crown. Your home is given, much is required now. Heavy is the head that chose to wear the crown. Your home is given, much is required now. I can't please everybody. Can't please everybody. Can't please everybody. Can't please everybody. Love gon' get you killed. Love gon' get you killed. I can't please
Pride?
everybody. Can't even please myself. I thought a new car would help. But when that new car get old, I'm sure I want something else. I can't please everybody. 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 Can't please everybody.
That one hurt me. Salem, you're gonna fall over trying to get pets. I love how he's just decided that he's a part of this today. Did my little remember thing. It is interesting that it is the original uneasy lies the head that wears a crown, whereas this one is like heavy is the head that chose to wear the crown. Because, you know, in a way, he's always talked about him being like a prophet and him, wanting to be the king. And I think there's an aspect of this of him realizing he must be at the top of the rap game, but also like it comes with like a heavy responsibility because so many people put you up on a pedestal, people asking too much. To whom is given much is required now, where it's like, again, it goes back to that whole people are asking so much of one person and one person can't fix everything. He cannot be your one and only. This is him not only telling that to everyone, but this is also him recognizing it himself. I wanted to wear this crown. I'm partially here to blame, if you will, even though I don't actually blame him. He's acknowledging that he's like chosen this deal, but he's also acknowledging that like he can't please everybody. It doesn't matter how great he is. It doesn't matter how hard he works. It will never be enough. And that's a hard pill to swallow. Not to his level. By any way, shape, or form. I would never compare that to my experience. But even in my little parts of my life, it can be gut-wrenching. The one that really hurt me, I can't even please myself. Oh! Ow. That one hurt me. But he is making progress. He's acknowledging, I thought a new car would help. But when that new car gets old, I'm sure I'm gonna want something else. It's never enough. Those coping mechanisms are not actually helping you cope. Oh, this is so good. I loved the last one and I loved this one. Top tier songs of Kendrick for me. They're just so relatable. Okay, next song. I went and acquired the emotional support chocolate chips because I realized I didn't have them. And out of all of the albums, I'm definitely gonna need them for this one. Next up, we have Silent Hill. I still can't remember why that sounds familiar. Maybe I'm just thinking of like, no, Silent Hill. I was about to say maybe I was just thinking of, and I was trying to think of other things that it sounds like, but then when I started to do that, I immediately was like, no, Silent Hills, is that a movie? Hold on. It is a movie. I think that's what I was thinking of. There's also a Silent Hill game. For some reason that sounds familiar too. Fun fact, I am absolutely horrid at games, like video games. It makes me so mad because I'm also fiercely competitive, which is ironic because I am also not athletic. So I don't have a lot of outlets for my competitive nature. Honestly, that's why like a mystery of songs and mystery shows and stuff, one little facet of my life that I get some of my competitive nature out. Because I gotta look for alternative things because it's not gonna come from my athletic abilities and it's not gonna come from like gaming and it's not gonna come from any like musical talent or dance or anything like I don't have a lot of options. I'll watch gaming, no hate. I'm not a huge fan of combat games. I had quite a few friends who would play like psychological games or watching it and I like helping. Apparently my motor skills are just terrible. I'm not good at the hand-eye coordination aspect of games. It doesn't matter how many times I've tried. I'm so bad at remembering which controls. It's just know it's an absolute train wreck, but I'm a great supporter. You need to figure out the clues, I'll help, but I am in fact not the gamer. I'm wondering if Silent Hill, maybe I watched someone play that game. It's a survivor horror game. It's 1999. Oh, but it was reimagined 2009. Maybe. It may not be connected at all, but I don't want to look too much into what it is in case there is actually connection. I have seen Silent Hill the film. I don't remember it, but I feel like I've definitely seen that. That was a tangent. We're focused. And Kodak Black is back on this.
Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why you keep fucking with me? You gon' make me jump out my skin, believe me.
He said something like that in the last song. He said something like that in the last song too.
Push these niggas off me like, push these bitches off me like, push these niggas off me like, pushing the snakes, I'm pushing the fakes, I'm pushing them all off me like, pushing them all off me like, yeah. I be immune to shit, tucking the broom and shit, done with assuming shit. Know you a joke, my answers are close, I holla at the moon and shit. Know the results, the ballot is in, man, I'm about to boom again. You funny, dog. Can't hide behind your money, dog. A week or two, I meditate on running lost. Swerve, 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 shake the currents off.
I need to read this. Okay, first of all, I really like this. This is so satisfying to the ear. I really like the production of this one. I like that we started out with that kind of prettier sound and then it switches and it's got more of a beat to it. I really liked that. Pushing the snakes, I'm pushing the fakes. So I kind of feel like this might be a little bit, at least initially, continuing to build off of the last song, pushing all these things away. I don't need these negative things in my space. I'm trying to work on myself. Choke this, you know you would choke my ancestors close. I howl at the moon and shit. I love that line because I'm assuming he's talking about his ancestors close, like his pack, because they howl to their kin. They howl to their pack. So if he's like, my ancestors are close, I howl at the moon and shit, like they're close enough to like, hear me. That's what he's saying, right? Wait, that's just like a fun fact I know, so I'm gonna feel really ridiculous if that's not how he meant that. You have ancestor and that is the next line. They have to be connected, right? Moving on. Know the results, the ballot is in. Man, I'm about to boom again. I love that too because it's like he's now come back.
Know the results, the ballot is in, man, I'm about to boom again. You funny, dog. Peekaboo, can't hide behind your money, dog.
Ooh.
A week or two, I meditate on running lost. Swerve, 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 shake the currents off. Yeah. Push these niggas off me like huh. Push these bitches off me like huh. Push these niggas off me like huh. Pushing the snakes, I'm pushing the fakes, I'm pushing them all off me like huh. Pushing them all off me like huh. Yeah. Head up, chest out, silence. I'm stressed out. Shh, be quiet. I'm stressed out. Stressed out, stressed out, stressed. Hit my daughter up. She need all the love. I need all the love. I mean all of us. It's like 6 o'clock. Bitch, you talk too much. You making it awkward, love. I mean it's hard enough. I mean it's.
They don't fuck with me even if they could. Pull out the stick, hit a bitch with the wood. First part roll was breaking the hood. Don't worry about us over here, we good. The AP Roman numeral. Everybody go, I need pharmaceuticals. I ran my whole conglomerate. I was just mapping shit out in the cubicle. Suicide cool is a funeral. Track hard lunch like a slingshot. Big ol' ruby diamond on my pinky finger. That bitch look like a ring pop. Money on my mind, money on your head. Can't ride 3 times when you coming through the jets. Red Cross kept a nigga fed. In the studio with Kodak, fresh out the feds. Yeah, you niggas can't stand the rain. Niggas don't stand a chance. Yeah, shuffle like candy paint. I spin the bin in the bins. I call the bill off of Google out. I'm the type to get my shooter wet.
Legend opened the door. He wanted to eat a few bites. I'm gonna plug in my phone while I wait, and then I realized how low it was because apparently I talked quite a bit at the beginning of this. I went ahead and let my phone charge up so we can hopefully get through a few more songs. I'm gonna figure out a new system, but I need to get caught up. I had gotten ahead, prepared to go out of town, and then I went out of town. I'm gonna pull it back a couple lines just so I have it.
Studio with Kodak, fresh out the feds. Yeah, you niggas can't stand the rain. Niggas don't stand a chance. Yeah, shuffle like candy paint. I spin the bin in the bins. I call the bill off of Google out. I'm the type to get my shooter wet. I had to survive off a tuna pack. 5% tint on the wheel, like who's that? Cool take off like it's mad. Beat the dope with a fork, I'm whipping up Sudafed. I'm doing scams in the lab. Every Thursday, girls, they spend the time with my daughter, make me go harder. Every Sunday, Sunday, teach my boy to be a man, I ain't had no father. Fell in love with the block, I ain't had no part, just sawed off shotgun Marvin. Stacking them on a proper art with diamonds look like Marvins. Out of my water, aqua beating the block up till we spell them. I don't want your ice, but I want your life, but fuck it, I still might rob them.
Dog. Push these niggas off me like huh. Push these bitches off me like huh. Push these niggas off me like huh. Pushing the snakes, I'm pushing the fakes, I'm pushing them all off me like huh. Pushing them all off me like huh. Yeah. Head up, chest out, silence. I'm stressed out.
Oh, I like
Be
that.
quiet. I'm stressed out. Stressed out, stressed out, stressed out.
Oh, the production.
If you derive
I really liked the production of that one. Full transparency. I didn't like it quite as much as the other two, but I still really liked that. And I think I stand by what I said. I think it's him trying to figure out, hey, I need to push these things and these vices, right? It's not just I need to be careful about these things. It's I don't need to fall into these things either. I'm stressed out. Pick up my daughter. She need all the love. I need to focus on that, but I'm also stressed. At least that's what I'm getting out of it. The ring pop line, that was, listen, I loved ring pops. That was the era. To me, this song kind of encapsulates that theme that we've seen with Kendrick of your roots not preventing you from growth, but you're not getting too far that you lose sight of your roots. I feel like especially with Kodak Black's feature on here, highlighting kind of where they came from, what they've experienced, and then also talking about their children. It's important because as we talk about Kendrick going on this journey and stuff, right, wanting to do better for their children, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting out of this. Like I said at the beginning, push away the things or people who don't align with my healing. Also, if these are applicable to me, I'm also pushing that away, kind of thing, and then focusing on doing better for your children. Unfortunately, you see this a lot with parenting. They perpetuate the cycles or are so focused on trying to break them. You know what I mean? And when you're perpetuating the cycles, it's that idea of like, well, I went through it, you know, versus the, I went through this and I want to make sure my kids don't do this. I do think it's interesting that it ends with that I'm stressed out again, because we've seen that kind of continue. But let me know if I'm like missing anything big or if I got anything wrong. Next up, Savior Interlude.
If you derive your sense of identity from being a victim, let's say bad things were done to you when you were a child, and you develop a sense of self that is based on the bad things that happened to you.
You ever see a mama strung out while you study division?
Baby Kim? Kim? Did I say Kim? Oh my god, Keem. We're doing great. But why does it not show me who's a feature? I know that's him. Is that Eckhart? I think it was, now that I think about it. But that is so important. If you derive your sense of identity from being a victim, let's say bad things were done to you when you were a child, and you develop a sense of self that is based on the bad things that happened to you. Oh, shit. Is that the first song? Was that the heart? There was a song, and I said, I don't want to jump to conclusions, because he used the word predator. Oh, shit. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong.
It happened to you.
What is that background? It sounds kind of like kids, but I can't tell what they're saying.
Of self that is based on the bad things that happened to you.
You ever see a mama strung out while you study division? Your uncle ever stole from you day after Christmas? Seen both of those in the county jail visits. The first and the 15th, the only religion. Noodles in the microwave, Shark Tank tidal wave. Grandma shooting niggas, blood on the highway. Crosses on the dashboard, you just want a platform. I want to take everything that I asked for. Catch me a body, I put that on anybody but my mama. She showing a pattern for certain. I think it's white panties and minimal condoms.
Ooh.
My uncle would tell me the shit in the movies could only be magic. This year I did 43 shows and took it all home to buy him a casket. Jack of all trades, got money out the way, put my heart in the faith, I'm good, love. Cousin in the courts, heard he jumped off the porch, turned a brick to a Porsche, I'm good, love. Catch us, you know I'm gon' rack up. I need the advance and the equity to match up. The engineer dead if the drive don't back up. These words.
Sorry. Hold on. That beginning. That's also the first and the 15th, the only religion, if that's not a mood. Buy him a casket. Just the way he said that, it's like, oh, I'm good. Like, it's fine. Tone he used a little bit. Cousins in the courts, heard he jumped off the porch. Is that when Kendrick was talking about suing? Are we talking about that kind of court? But then why would it say courts? I guess you could be like multiple court hearings. Wait. Could courts, basketball courts? Because if Kendrick's cousin with Nick Young, is that the right name? I feel like that's wrong. I'm assuming Baby Keem is also cousins with him, so maybe it's talking about that cousin, not a suing court, but a basketball court, because he jumped off the porch. Maybe? Or I could be pulling that out of my ass. Quite frankly, don't know. Let me know. I need the advance and the equity to match up. Ooh, that is a good line. The engineer dead if the drive don't back up. I love the way I don't know what the terminology would be there, but like I like the way he arranges, what's the word I want to use? I like the things that he chooses to explain things. I know there's a better way to say this. Even I know there's a better way to say this, even if it's not technical, but I'm not even doing a good job. We're moving on.
Engineer dead if the drive don't back up. These words come from God, you can never out-rap us. Nowadays, gotta walk cautious, ayy. Nowadays, I'm a new prophet, ayy. Gang dead, no autopsy, ayy. City girl with a new hobby, ayy. Catch a body, put the product in the tutter. Nigga about to get some pussy, give me 5. Gun dirty, got the 30 in the purse. Tight bitch, put a perky in a salad. I gotta pray for the basic. I never seen my niggas bust down faces, them niggas not tasteless. I only had one chance, I ain't even wasted.
Oof.
Been down on my luck. Been down on my luck when I fall. I gotta get up. I gotta get back up and ball. RIP under my people, I'm proud of my people, I'm proud of my dogs. My ex got a Beamer, she want me to see it, I still ain't gon' see it, like, okay. I low and it ratchet, I don't do a paddock, I still do the watches the away. She think I'm conceited, I'm thinking about cheating, I don't do the flowers or rope. Now how can I fold looking at 20 million, this money don't come with a probate. Mama.
I love the cadence. It's just very different. I gotta get up, I gotta get back up and ball. Interesting if I think that is courts and then ball. Wait, is that like a part of the scheme? I still need to learn terminology. A few of you have sent me videos. I have watched one of them. I'm gonna get back to them since I was out of town, but the one I did watch was really cool because it was like highlighted words. I'm gonna still be honest, I understand it with the highlighted words. It makes it a lot visually easier. I'm not sure that I'll ever be able to translate that to this, like without that highlighted, but just seeing it, quite frankly, blew my mind even more. I already was like, wow, this is crazy. But seeing all the different schemes going on at once, I was like, this is even crazier than I thought it was. Wild. Anyways, but would that be like how it picks up on that thread in another piece? Is there a word for that? I keep wanting to like say certain like literary devices. I don't know if you use that same terminology. We'll see. Anyways, we talked about the things I had seen about potential meanings for the okay llama, and it's saying my people and different variations of that. So it's just interesting to see it put right there, kind of picking up on that thread. I just liked that. Okay.
Money don't come with a probate. Mama, I said it'd be okay. I got this shit bragging in 4 days. 4 eyes, 4 eyes, 2 eyes. Switch eyes, nigga be fresh out. Suicide doors, I suicide. Lambo body, who gon' stop me? Baby Keeman's too wild. Function at the temple, Jesus pieces in the luau. Mr. Morale.
The cadence? Oh, that's pretty. It really does feel like a scene. The production of this is just so good. I literally feel like I'm watching a play. I talked about this before. Good Kid, Mad City is picturing the film the whole time, like just listening to it, because all the production elements just have such a way of taking you somewhere. Music in general is very visual in my head. The cohesiveness allowed my brain to like create scenes, if you will. To Pimp a Butterfly, Untitled Unmastered, Damn. But this being like a play is the closest we've come to from Good Kid, Mad City with it being a film. It just takes it a step further, if you will. This is in a sense made to be visual in the same way that Good Kid, Mad City was, at least in my opinion. It doesn't even take any effort. Maybe a better way to say it is like just me talking to you guys. When I'm telling you about certain things or what it makes me think of, it's like I'm watching the scene back instead of just looking at the lyrics back. I don't know if that makes sense. Doing this whole channel has made me have to talk about how my brain works so much more than I ever have before. And it's hard because normally when I explain things to people, I can go off of their body language. If I feel like they don't get it, or if I feel like they get it, I'll stop explaining as much, but I can't do that with you guys. So I just kind of talk and then I'm like, well, I hope that worked. Editing these back, trying to explain how my brain works is already enough of a feat, but deciding how much is enough and too much, a whole other layer. But anyways, the production of that one I really loved. It was, to me, very visual. I don't know how to describe Baby Keem. I know I've only heard a little bit of him. I like it. I think Kendrick's is a little bit more suited to how my brain works, if I'm being honest. But I don't think I've heard a lot of a sound that sounds like Baby Keem. The way he enunciates things and how he chooses to connect it to the next line, I feel like it's different. Maybe it's just my lack of knowledge of rap and different elements. Maybe it's not that crazy, but I just feel like I haven't heard, I've talked about this before, I compare things. I don't really have much of an anchor to make a comparison, if that makes sense. I feel like I've said that like 17 times in the past 5 minutes. This is peak. I don't know how to explain my thoughts, but I also want feedback, and that is not exactly the best combination. How do I give more information to you guys to explain what I'm looking for when I literally can't verbalize my brain? I'm just here trying to survive. Okay, next up we have Savior.
Kendrick made you think about it, but he is not your savior.
Ooh.
Cole made you feel empowered, but he is not your savior. Future said get a money counter, but he is not your savior. Brian made you give his flowers, but he is not your savior. He is not your savior. Mr. Morale, give me high five. 2-time sinner, co-defendant, judging my life. Backpedaler, what they say you do to cha-cha. I'ma stand on it, 6'5" from 5'5". Fun fact, I ain't taking shit back. Like it when they pro-black, but I'm more Kodak black. Tell me where the money at, ayy, where the homies at. Universal call out, I can members only that, ayy. CC, wait a minute, Ben aquí, c'est la vie,
All I can think of universal call out, I can members only that, makes me think of, wasn't there a song Section 80? Something members only? That sounds right. Love that he started this out. Again, this is good too because it's good for him to know, because that's got to be a lot of pressure. Feeling like, even if you do feel called to do this, your passion, the love, you want to do this, you want to be at the top of the game, it's okay to also feel pressured from that. And I can see that being a hard thing to swallow because it's almost like, well, for me personally, if I were to put myself in that position, and I'm not saying this to say that he should feel this way because I don't think he should feel this way, but I know how my brain works and I would feel like, well, I asked for this. Do I have a right to complain? Do I have a right to feel guilty about this? I had a similar situation in a work capacity where it was like, I've pushed for this, I've worked for this. And then you get there and sometimes it's like, okay, yeah, but you can also have balance. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to feel stressed out. Just because you want something does not mean that you just have to accept all the terms that you didn't know until you were there. Does that make sense? And I feel like that is how fame is. You know, it's not even just fame. It's bigger than that. It's not just like the idea of fame. I think for a lot of, especially the mainstream artists, a little unfair that we boil it down to they just want fame. You only wanted to pursue this because you wanted the attention. They wanted to pursue their art. And of course, the more popular you become, the more control you get to have within your art. Well, I say that. Sometimes. Industry depends. But I'm thinking about like Taylor. The more and more successful, she was more leverage that allowed her to get more control over the aspects of her art. I think fame gets boiled down to something a little bit more vain. I'm not saying that's not an aspect of it, but I'm just saying in reality, I think a lot of times we forget that artists, this is their creativity, this is their passion, this is kind of their lifeblood of who they are as creative human beings. This is their outlet. Of course you want it to be popular, successful, stuff like that, because one, it means that you stay employed and that you can continue to do it. Two, it means that more people are seeing your art, taking in your art. Of course that's an aspect of it. The public has a perception that sometimes boils it down to something that's just fame for the sake of fame, which is like a little rant. But I can see someone like Kendrick being like, I want this, and then getting there and being like, wow, this is a lot. And then feeling like I don't have a right to complain because I wanted this. With my own experiences and getting hindsight from that, it's not fair for you to put that on yourself because then you end up accepting things that you don't necessarily agree with or that you don't want as far as like commitment, time commitment. You know, him feeling like it's probably a really hard decision for him to take a step back, that kind of thing. So I appreciate him acknowledging it through this album, but also now he's started to put some boundaries and now he's saying, no, we need to change the narrative of this. It's not just about my boundaries. It's about changing the way we view it. Kendrick made you think about it. He put these ideas out there, but he's not your savior. Cole made you feel empowered, but he's not your savior. We need to fundamentally shift the way we view this. 2-time center co-defendant judging my life. I love that line. I stand on it. 6'5" from 5'5". Bar. One last thing. Like it when they're pro-black, but I'm more Kodak black. There's something about that line that's got me. Are we saying pro-black as in just like the empowerment, the uplifting? Is this kind of going off of the overnight activist thing? But I'm more like Kodak black. I said earlier, I thought that he had controversy around him. So is he basically saying like, oh, yeah, I'm here to uplift and all this stuff, but don't forget, I don't mean this in a judgmental way at all. but is he meaning this more like, but don't forget like where I came from? I don't always fit into kind of like the industry's view or fit a certain mold. I don't want to overstep my bounds, come across as judgmental or anything other than just me trying to understand. Am I kind of picking up on what he's meaning there, or am I totally off? And if I'm totally off and I went to a place I shouldn't have, for the record, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. Please let me know, especially with things like this. Patreon, guys, not only do I want to change it for my own brain and how I interact with the world, but I also want to make sure that I don't spread something further than it should. So if I ever say anything that is like, hey, that might come off in a negative way or in an unsupportive way, I don't necessarily think that I maybe went that far, but it just made me think of like, hey, should probably tell Patreon. If that ever happens, please tell me. Anyways, members only, and I was trying to place it and I missed those couple lines.
Universal call out, I can members only that I CC. Wait a minute, ben aquí, c'est la vie, I tell the whole truth from A to Z. Aye, show me you real, show me that you bleed. Aye, hello, crackers. Let me hear that back. I seen niggas arguing about who's blacker. Even blacked out screens and called it solidarity. Meditating in silence makes you wanna tell on me.
Bitch, are you happy for me?
Really?
Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? Yeah, I'm out the way. Are you happy for me? Bitch, are you happy for me?
Really?
Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? Yeah, I'm out the way. Are you happy for me?
I'll make this quick. I don't know.
Wait a minute.
The cadence of that just sounds similar to Kiki. Do you love me? I don't want to start. Oh God. Oh my God. I can't believe I just made that comparison. I feel like people are going to be like, oh my God, please stop. It's just what it made me think of. Not trying to make a comparison. Not trying to start a pot. Start a pot. Stir a pot. I don't know what's wrong with me. Just ignore me. Even blacked out screens and call it solidarity. Is that referring to the posting the black screen? It's gotta be what that's talking about, because that would have been around that time period. Meditating in silence made you want to tell on me. That is such a good way of saying that. Oh my God. Hey, look, I'm just over here meditating in silence. I'm trying to do better about myself so I can come back into the world. And you're over here wanting to rat me out to the world. Or like, not necessarily, like you're wanting to like highlight the fact that I'm not around as if I haven't been here is the vibe that gives me. But the, ooh, are you really happy for me? This is such a good, hey, mirror moment. Think about what you say.
I'm out the way. Are you happy for me?
Bite their tongues and rap lyrics, scared to be crucified about a song, but they won't admit it. Politically correct is how you keep an opinion. Niggas is tight-lipped, fuck who dare to be different. Seen a Christian say the vaccine mark of the beast. Then he caught COVID and prayed to Pfizer for relief. Then I caught COVID and started to question Kyrie. Will I stay organic or hurt in this bed for 2 weeks? Do you want peace? Then watch us in the street. One protest for you. 365 for me.
Ooh.
Vladimir making nightmares. But that's how we all think. The collective conscious. Calamities on repeat.
Bitch,
Damn.
are you happy for me?
Really?
Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? Yeah, I'm out the way. Are you happy for me? Bitch, are you happy for me?
Really?
Are you happy for me? Smile on my face, but are you happy for me? Yeah, I'm out the way. Are you happy for me?
Truth, it resides in the fire. The need of his dire, deceiving the lies I know. Truth, it resides in the fire. The need of his dire, deceiving the lies I know.
Oof. Damn. It's so funny that he put this in here because in one of the earlier songs, I made a comment about cancel culture, and in my head, it was hard for me to try to figure out a way to verbalize it because it sounds like I'm saying opposing things, and it's because this was the aspect of it. Bite their tongues in rap lyrics, scared to be crucified about a song, but they won't admit it. Politically correct is how you keep an opinion. This was my thing with cancel culture. It almost makes it to where people are walking on eggshells to where they don't share their opinions, which on one side is good because it doesn't spread things that maybe could cause harm, but on the other side, it means that people might be portraying themselves one way and differently behind closed doors, which means people may be rising that maybe you don't want to support. But also, cancel culture goes so far, it's like one little misstep and someone can like lose their whole career. I appreciate actions having consequences, but there also has to be room for mistakes to be made and corrected and for people to do better. Because if not, if we don't create space for people to learn from their mistakes, then they just will keep them hidden, which is kind of what I'm getting out of what he was saying. It's like you're politically correct outwardly, but like your opinion might be behind closed doors. At least that's how I'm taking it. One protest for you, 365 for me. Oh, that. And just bring up the collective consciousness. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Love. Love.
The cat is out the bag, I am not your savior. I find it just as difficult to love thy neighbors, especially when people got ambiguous favors, but their heart's not in it. See, everything's for the paper. The struggle for the right side of history. Independent thought is like an eternal enemy. Capitalist posing as compassionate be offending me. Yeah, suck my dick with authenticity. Yeah, Tupac dead, gotta think for yourself. Yeah, heroes looking for the villains to help. I never been sophisticated, same face. Being manipulative, such a required taste. I rubbed elbows with people that was for the people. They all greedy, I don't care for no public speaking. And they like to wonder where I've been, protecting my soul in the valley of silence.
Ooh. Chills. That is like one of my favorite Kendrick verses of all time. He's always had some lines about like hypocritical natures and like, the hypocrisy of things. But this is just like in your face. I'm not holding back. I'm telling you exactly how hypocritical some of this shit is. And I'm like showing you behind the curtain the things that people don't want to talk about. Oh, I feel like this is shit that I like get on my soapbox about in like every video. Shockingly, I'm not even going to break all that down. I don't, because it's so perfect that the message speaks for itself. I love it because it's talking about his own stuff. I find it difficult to love thy neighbors, especially with when people got ambiguous favors. Of course, it's hard to love someone who has different opinions than you. The point is to not like cause harm. It's like you can just let people live their lives. But at the same time, if your life's purpose is causing harm to other people, I can't support that. This one's a really great example for LGBTQIA plus community. That has nothing to do with you. I am so sorry if you don't believe in it. If that's your religion, that's your religion. That's not my religion. You should not get to control who someone loves. And I say love because I think it's a really important thing. People talk a lot about sexuality, and I think that it does a disservice. The LGBTQIA plus community, encapsulating it only as sexuality and things that people do in a bedroom, first of all, is wrong because that's unfair to that term, including groups like trans and asexuality and intersex people. This isn't just about who someone takes to bed or doesn't take to bed. This is about who people love, who people want to be in relationships with. So to boil it down to just sex is a disservice inherently. But when we talk about it as if it's only about sex, it makes it to where it becomes sexually explicit and obscene, instead of saying it as this is a term that is about what it actually boils down to, which is love. It's about who someone loves. Now, granted, there also is a nuance that has to do with like aromantic, but for the sake of this, we're not getting into that deep of a nuance. The point though is that to boil it down to just being about sex is a disservice. Instead of boiling it down to just that one aspect, look at it broader as in who someone loves. Because then it can be more applicable to trans, because it's about loving themselves. Right? They don't feel like they are in the correct body. They would feel better to be another gender, and therefore they can love themselves better. It's about their body. It's about who you love. It's about who you are attracted to physically, who you're attracted to emotionally. That is the LGBTQIA umbrella. It's so much broader than just who someone takes to bed. And in this world, God, like, wouldn't you just want more love? We're punishing people who want to love each other. There are people dying every day. There are children hungry. There is genocide in this world. And you're worrying about people, two consenting adults who love each other. Or if they're minors, obviously we all understand puppy love. But for the most part, right? Like I'm talking about this in bigger world implications aspect. Don't we need more love in this world? I will just never understand. But again, going back to this point, Sometimes it is hard to love your neighbors. Where the boundary is when you're causing harm. You may not agree with the LGBTQIA plus community, but it doesn't involve you. It's not about you. Anyways, soapbox over, moving on. My point is like, yeah, like I get that. It can be hard. And I appreciate him pointing these things out because he's saying like, I'm not perfect. We all have things we struggle with. We all have darker aspects of ourselves. Oh God, I'm gonna listen to that over and over again. I love the way it ends, protecting my soul in the valley of silence. Beautiful. Oh God, we're at Auntie Diaries. Okay, I need to start a new video and I need to mentally prepare myself. I am so nervous. Okay, we have Auntie Diaries. I've literally never been so nervous. Between this and Mother I Sober, I got these two way more than I did We Cry Together. And We Cry Together was not an easy listen. So I am... If it's a hard listen like that, it's not just like a sad, if it's like a harsh listen, I need to put the disclaimer. If my face does things, I'm sorry. My face speaks for itself, and it doesn't mean that I won't change my opinion. Just bear with me. If my face starts doing things that I'm like, or whatever, I don't know. I think that's kind of what my face looks like. It's hard to like recreate your own, okay, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm stalling. I think I'm subconsciously stalling. What have y'all gotten me into? The chocolate chips are out. I think I'm as prepared as I can be.
This is how we conceptualize human beings.
My auntie is a man now. I think I'm old enough to understand now. Drinking Parmesan with her hat turned backwards. Motorola pager, off-white guest jacket. Blue Air Maxes, gold chains and curl kits. 93 Nissan wax job, the earliest. Big social, big personality, vocal. Played the underground verbatim and stayed local. My auntie is a man now. I watch him and his girl hold their hands down. Tipping the avenues under street lights made his. Thinking I want me a bad bitch when I get big. They hug on the corner like California came cold. Hand all up a skirt, cars whistling down the road. See, my auntie is a man now. Slight bravado, scratching the likes from Lotto. Hoping that she pull up tomorrow so I can hang out in the front seat. 6x9s keeping the music up under me. My auntie is a man now. Asked my mama why my uncles don't like him that much. And at the parties why they always want to fight him that much. She said ain't no telling. Niggas always been jealous because he had more women. More money and more attention made more envy. Calling him anything but broke was less offending. My auntie is a man now. I think I'm old enough to understand now. Drinking Parmesan with...
Okay, so I think he's little. Right? Because he's like, I think I understand now, but he's still misgendering. I'm not even gonna say that line out loud. But that my auntie is, I think he's trying to be young. So I don't think he's like deliberately misgendering young and trying to concept, which again, it doesn't have to be that hard of a concept. Kids, if they're taught right, like it doesn't have to be that hard of a concept, but I'll get off that soapbox. I'm already grabbing my chocolate chips. I already loved Kendrick's mom from Good Kid, Mad City. And if that's her response, when this conversation happened, like, I don't know how old he was, right? On one side, I'm like, maybe like actually explaining things. But then again, if he was super young, maybe she just like didn't know how to or whatever. But if you're gonna say anything and you don't know how to properly explain it, I like that she went with this. Always been jealous because he had more women. Love that.
I turned backwards, back when it was comedic relief to say faggot. Faggot, 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 we ain't know no better. Elementary kids with no filter. However, my auntie became a man and I took pride in it. She wasn't gay, she ate pussy and that was the difference. That's what I told my friends in 2nd grade. She picking me up from school, they stare at her in the face. They couldn't comprehend what I grew accustomed. We pull off bumping quick like it was nothing. My auntie is a man now, what a relationship. I grew up fast, I needed no one to babysit. He gave me some cash, then gave me some game. Cherry freshener on the dash, I never complained. She even cut my hair at the pad, was loving my fade. The first person I seen write a rap, that's when my life had changed. House full of demos, smoke stuck on the window. Cameras on the microphone, all women and men know. My auntie was a man now, we cool with it. The history had trickled down and made us ignorant. My favorite cousin said he's returning the favor and following my auntie with the same behavior. Demetrius is Marianne now. He's more confident to live his plan now. But the family in disbelief this time, convincing themselves he ain't living discreet, he's fine. They said they never seen it in him, but I seen it. The Barbie dolls played off reflection of Venus. He built a wall so tall you couldn't climb over. He didn't laugh as hard when the kids started joking. Faggot, 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 we ain't know no better. Middle school kids with no filter, however. I had to be very mindful of my good cousin. I knew exactly who he was, but I still loved him. Demetrius is Marianne now. I mean, he's really Marianne. Even took things further, changed his gender before Bruce Jenner was certain. Living his truth, even if it meant see a surgeon. We didn't talk for a while, he seemed more distant. Wasn't comfortable around me, everything was offensive. But I recall, we both had a sick sense of humor made raw. But time changes all. Demetrius is Marianne now. Remember church Easter Sunday. I sat in the pew, you had stronger faith, more spiritual and enthused with living life straight. Which I found ironic cause the pastor didn't see him the same. He said my cousin was going through some things. He promised the world we living in was an act on abomination, and Demetrius was to blame. I knew you was conflicted by the feelings of preacher man, wondering if God still call you a decent man. Still you found the courage to be subservient just to anoint, until he singled you out to prove his point, saying, Demetrius is Marianne now. Church, his auntie is a man now. It hurt you the most cause your belief was close to his words, forcing me to stand out. I said, Mr. Preacher Man, should we love thy neighbor? The laws of the land of the heart was greater. I recognized the studies you was taught since birth, but that don't justify the feelings that my cousin preserved. The building was thinking out loud, bad angel. That's when you looked at me and smiled, said thank you. The day I chose humanity over religion, the family got closer, it was all forgiven. I said them F-bombs, I ain't know any better. Mistakenly, I ain't think that you know any different. See, I was taught words was nothing more than a sound, if ever they was pronounced without any intentions. The very second you challenged the shit I was kicking, reminded me about a show I did out the city. That time I brought a fan on stage to rap, but disapproved a word that she couldn't say with me. You said, Kendrick, ain't no room for contradiction. To truly understand love, switch position. Faggot, 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 we can say it together, but only if you let a white girl say nigga.
I don't even know where to start. You were a little help. I'm currently, like, in my head, I'm trying to gather my thoughts because first thing out the gate, can we talk about how my soapbox literally last song? That's freaking weird. I was literally just talking about this. Oh my god. And it was with that line. It was with the love thy neighbor line. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. Sorry, y'all know me and coincidences. The fact that that literally just happened last song, wild. I'm trying to push down my initial reaction. I have two sides warring right now. I have the one side that's like emotionally like, and like how it gets to the end, and like the fact that he included this, and being very moved that he included this, seeing the progression. And then there's the other side of me that's like, wow, you did this in a way that, like, I think I'm just gonna have to approach it in both ways. Bear with me. This is one time that I wish I was live so I could ask, would you rather me start with the one side or the other side? I guess I'm gonna kind of intertwine them. Like I said at the beginning, I think he's younger. He's not exactly approaching it in the most respectful way as a kid and all that. On one side, it's like, I understand, because in order to get the full story and impact by the end, having that stuff there, like, I get it. But also, it's hard seeing things like this because, you know, on one side, it's like perpetuating certain things, and it's like certain stereotypes and using certain language. It's like meant to be a supportive song, but how you get there is not exactly the most supportive. You know, some people are going to hear this and, like, even though the whole thing is we shouldn't say these things, we shouldn't treat people poorly, these are human beings, and just because you don't agree with something doesn't mean that you should make their life a living fucking hell. Case in point. But at the same time, those people were going to do that anyways, you know. So I guess my thing is I need to look at this through the lens of what it can do with the people who are not understanding, not empathetic, and not look at it as like a community member. I need to look at it separately. So I'm trying to compartmentalize. So, okay, abrasive. That's the word I wanted to use earlier. The language and the use of it and the switching pronouns back and forth, using the derogatory terms, the slurs, have the slurs just in there. It's an abrasive song, but it highlights the way that a lot of people do view this. But the ending, oh God. Like, Like that, it's that easy. It's that easy. And that's exactly what I was saying in the last song, where it's like, God, Legend snoring in the background in like the most like emotional, like vulnerable moments. It's just like snoring. I hope that he actually did this. If that's actually a true story, oh my God. The laws of the land or the heart, what's greater? But that don't justify the feelings that my cousin preserved. The building was thinking out loud. The day I chose humanity over religion. Because that's what it is. It's choosing humanity. I'll just never... His snoring is killing me. I'll just never understand. Like, do you know how many kids die because they take their own lives? Do you know how much religion has fueled conversion therapy? It's like the same people who are using the rhetoric to support laws about if your child comes to you and says that they're trans and they want to punish parents and take that as child abuse, when those same ideals are the ones that fuel conversion therapy that literally abuses children. And then, like, even if you survive it, there's so many people that take their lives after that because you've broken people mentally to where they feel like they shouldn't be here, or the abuse was so great that they just can't handle it. Like, over the way people love or how they feel in their own bodies. I will quite literally never understand it. Over a book that could be mistranslated. Like, you know, the people who study languages who've come out and said that the original translation was men should not lie with boys, meaning we're talking about like a child versus an adult. Just for like 2 seconds, think about it. What if that's true? If the only thing holding you back is your faith, what if that translation is true? Again, I still go down to the fact of like, even if you think that that's wrong, even if you think this person is gonna burn in hell or whatever, it's not your place to judge. It just gets me to like another place when it comes to like politics, where it's like, to me, voting for something does not have to equate to your belief. It's the same way I feel about medicine. It's the same way I feel about political offices and like judges in the judicial system. You have to be able to be impartial. It's not about what your beliefs are. This is not about what you morally think is right or wrong. That's not the decision you're making. And this goes for when you're voting too. We have a freedom of religion for a reason, and we're supposed to, though it's being very much eroded, a separation of church and state. Why? Because in order to be truly religiously free, it's not about what you think is morally right or wrong. It's about what the government's role is. You don't have to believe the LGBT community isn't a sin or whatever it is that you think for you to be able to vote on LGBT people having rights. Those two things do not have to mean that you support. It means that you don't believe the government's role is to involve itself in that matter. That's it. It doesn't have to go past that. And I think that we would all be a lot better off if people who held office, if when we went in to vote, we were not thinking about, do I morally agree with this, but rather, does the government have a right to legislate or to put laws around this, or to prevent people from, the best example obviously here with LGBTQIA plus community. This is something that goes into people's lives. It's who they love, it's who they are attracted to, it's who they feel, it's the medical care that they deserve, right to marry the other person that they want to marry as consenting adults. That is a personal decision, and even though you may personally disagree with it, it's not about that, it's about what the government's role is. I guess the way I have to view this song is, I think this song does a lot of good in meeting people where a lot of people are. I wish that you wouldn't need such an abrasive song, but the reality is that sometimes it's showing people, and to his point, it's comparing words that cause harm, that are slurs, that are used in a derogatory manner to people. It's highlighting those two things by using the two words that he's using, and I think that it does do a good job of meeting people where a lot of people are, because yeah, I mean, like, even he had that one time in section 80 where he used the F slur, and I told you guys I was trying to keep in mind that this was during a time where it was so normalized. It doesn't make it right, but you have to, hey, children, the kittens are fighting, stop. stop. We're not doing this. Do you want to know why we're not doing this? It's because Fang literally ended up in the ER this weekend because he has an infection from a lesion because these two can't stop play fighting. They play fight too rough. Anyways, so I think it does do a good job of showing people like, hey, do you see why this is problematic? If the people who are oppressed in this scenario are saying this is harmful and that you should not use this word, respect that. And then it goes deeper into that of highlighting the deeper messages, which is it's not just about the word, it's about the entire community. It's about what it stands for. It's about how religion's part to play and how religion can cause harm to people. To me, I'll choose humanity over religion every single time. I would rather, in whatever comes next or whatever it is, I would rather be able to say that I loved people and that I didn't choose any hatred. I didn't choose harm. I protected people and I spoke out against oppression and that I protected those who are vulnerable. At least I know that, to me, I did the right thing. Regardless of what human interpretation is of the divine, I chose love. I chose humanity over religion. It's like such an important song. It's just, like I said, like it is harder for me because, like I said, I know this song could feel harmful, but on the other side, it's meeting people where they're at and showing that mirror in like a very raw way. And for that, I have to appreciate it. He's using his platform. He's highlighting things. He's showing his own experience with things. And overall, I appreciate it, even though I know it is a little hard to hear. It's a little abrasive in some ways. It was done in good faith. That's also important. He was doing it to ultimately benefit the people he loves who are in this community, while also highlighting the hypocritical nature of words do matter, words do have meaning. It's the same thing with people's pronouns. If you can change people's last names when they get married and things like that, you can change your pronoun. And for the non-binary people out there, when people, the excuse of singular use of they and them, that's bullshit. Because if I told you, hey, go pick up my cousin from the airport, what would you say? What time do you have to pick them up? Because you didn't know the gender. You didn't know who my cousin was. People use that every single day. It's not that hard. I could rant about this and give another dissertation, but I'm gonna move on. But just one more time for this.
That's when you looked at me and smiled, said thank you. The day I chose humanity over religion, the family got closer, it was all forgiven.
The day I chose humanity over religion is one of my favorite lines of all time. I don't just mean of a Kendrick song. I mean of any song ever. Also, I started a new video and I didn't even bring this up. I'm assuming that's a true story, where a white fan got on stage and she rapped, like, I just cannot imagine getting on stage as white. I'm like baffled by that. I just can't. Okay. Oh, it really didn't have a transition. Jaws?
It was one of the worst performances I've seen in my life. I couldn't sleep last night because I felt this shit.
Just detox, my calling is right on time. Transformation, I must have 1,000 lives and like 3,000 wives. You should know that I'm slightly off, fighting off demons that been outside. Better known as myself, I'm a demigod. Every thought is creative, sometimes I'm afraid of my open mind. Shit on my mind and it's heavy. Tear you in pieces cause it's way too heavy. My diamonds, the joker is heavy. More life to give on demand, are you ready? Who keep them honest like us? Who in alignment like us? Who gotta heal them or us? Us, when there's no one to call.
What the hell? Respectfully, I'm loving it, but I just feel like this is very different. The running, like, it makes me think it depends the butterfly, the cats. Listen, I have 3 songs to go. We're not doing this. Wow, Salem, you groomed one of the kittens. I'm very proud. Oh, Dobby. Salem just walked up and groomed Dobby. Dobby repaid him by biting his tail. I wish y'all could see Salem right now. I know y'all are too high, but he is sitting right. I just took a picture because I have my iPad right here. Put a screenshot. Oh my god, I wish I could show y'all. He's staring at himself. I have the camera open still. Oh my god, this is hilarious. So there's Salem, Dobby, Fang. Legends on the couch. Anyways, like 3,000 wives. How many wives you got in your reincarnations here? What? I'm slightly off fighting my demons. Better known as myself. I'm a demigod. Oh my god, wait. I just... Bar. Bar. Guys, you're killing me today.
If the shit ain't bustin', what's it for? Stepping out in the way, lift.
Are you just gonna sit there? Just like in the middle of the camera? I think your fans really need to see you right there. Just right there. Are you just gonna groom? Okay. Every thought is creative. Sometimes I'm afraid to open my mind. Ooh, that's a bar. It's very rare for me to get caught up in music and production in comparison to lyrics. And I didn't pick up on like multiple of these lines. I guess I was just like so in the music and thrown off. Wow, okay. Who gonna keep them honest like us? Who in alignment like us? Baby, what? He's staring at my cat ears. I'm accepting. Like at least these I can put in the back. Salem will absolutely, like Salem is the most chill out of all the cats. Like he is the most, like he's a good cat. But if you put him somewhere he does not want to be, not gonna happen. Every thought is creative. Sometimes I'm afraid of opening my mind. Shit on my mind and it's heavy. Ooh, I love this.
Final conversation.
My spirit's awakened, my brain is asleep. I got a new temperature, sharpening multiple swords in the faith I believe. Ooh. I think about Robert Kelly. If he won't molested, I wonder he'll fight for Felly. I wonder he'll focus from closure the way that she posted the hurt that a woman carries. My mother abused young, like all of the mothers back where we from. SSI bury family members. At the repast, they serving Popeye's chicken. What you know about black trauma? Heffing is kicking back, it's another genre. Tyler Perry, the face of 1,000 rappers using violence to cover what really happened. I know somebody's listening. Past life regressions to know my conditions is based off experience. Karma for karma, my habits insensitive. Watching my cousin struggle with addiction, then watching her firstborn make $1 million, and both of them off the grid for forgiveness. I'm sacrificing myself to start the healing, and shit on my mind and it's heavy. Tear you in pieces cause it's way too heavy. My diamonds, the joker is heavy. More life to give on demand, are you ready? Who keep them honest like us? Who in alignment like us? Who gotta heal them or us? Us! When there's no one to call us? Us!
Say, hydrate, it's time to heal. Say, you're frustrated, I can feel. Huddle up, tie the flag, call the troops, holler back. Huddle up, tie the flag, call the troops, holler back.
People get taken over by this pain body because this energy field that almost has a life of its own, it needs to periodically feed on more unhappiness.
Oh, the production of that was insane. Like, I loved that production. I was kind of getting this vibe, but the production I think is what really makes me feel. I'm sorry. I've just accepted. I have no idea if the camera can see him, but I've just accepted it. Also, these two are now about to start fighting. I'm past it at this point. You wouldn't believe how many hours I filmed. It's concerning. I'm concerned about this video. First of all, I don't know how I'm ever gonna like edit it down in time. That's the first thing. Second, I'm gonna have to make some serious cuts because I don't know how many hours it is at this point, but I can promise you it's the longest videos I've ever shot, by far. Okay, so I was getting kind of this, I mean, it's talking about obviously some very heavy things, but the production, it makes it feel like we're about to have like a battle. You know, when you're like trying to get pumped up to like go face something, go do something, go, or like before a game or anything like that. That's the vibe I get. And Mother I Sober is next, which honestly would make sense because, so the last one, Auntie Diaries, that's like a paper. Oh shit. I feel like the last song will be closure, wrap up. I just don't think they would hit you with a, like something big. So that means, oh. R. Kelly, Oprah, Tyler Perry. Oh, Predator. Shit. My mother abused young. Oh. I get it. I think I get it. Oh, I almost wish I wouldn't have figured it out before the song. Okay, focus on this song and then we move on. The sacrifice, and he's talking to his kids. I'm in deep meditation. I'm processing my trauma. I'm about to prepare for this session kind of vibe, talking about his family. You know, I watched my cousin struggle with addiction, then watched baby Keem make his first million, sacrificing myself to start healing. I was so listen, I don't know what's wrong with me. I quite literally did not register the huddle up, tie the flag, call the troops. Can you please, with your tail, stop hitting my computer? As the production was going, I was thinking it, but now I'm wondering, was that line earlier? No. Okay, well, I was thinking it before, but I love how I was like trying to tell you guys so y'all could tell me if I was on the right track, and then I literally see the line, huddle up, tie the flag, call the troops. I didn't even register that line. So either subconsciously that confirmed it for me or what? Okay. But you can't just like, what is your deal? You cannot just like fall over onto the laptop. These two have at least gone to sleep. What's your excuse? They can't see you right now, Salem. I'm so sorry. Get this man a channel. He needs to be a live streamer because he's literally putting on a show. That is so true though. People get taken over by this pain body because it's an energy field, almost like it has life of its own, and it needs to feed on more unhappiness. Oh my God. Okay. 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 Well, I loved the production of that one, for the record. I feel like this deserves more time, but now that I feel like I've kind of figured it, I feel like I just need to go. Mother I Sober. Salem, I need to be able to focus on this and take this serious. I love you so much. But I think you should, could you like come over here? I was trying to give you a place okay, well, that went well. Okay, well, new video, I guess, before I start this. Sorry, Salem, I was trying to give you a little place to sit. Salem, you cannot sit there. You're a good kid. I cannot believe that whole escapade just happened. The universe was like, she's simply not prepared. Emotional support chocolate chips have done all that they can do. Can I simply stop doing it? Oh my gosh, it is 6 minutes, 46 seconds. Also, someone did tell me that Spotify didn't have the lyrics, so. Well, I need you to do your job. Hold on, I'm trying to zoom in. Of all the songs to do this, oh God, is there a reason?
feel everything, I feel everybody. One man standing on two words, heal everybody. Transformation, then reciprocation. Karma must return, heal myself. Secrets that I hide, buried in these words. Death threats, ego must die, but I let it purge, pacify. Broken pieces of me, it was all a blur. Mother cried, put their hands on her. It was family ties, I heard it all. I should have grabbed a gun, but I was only 5, I still feel it. Weighing on my heart, my first tough decision. In the shadows, clinging to my soul as my only critic. Where's my faith? Told you I was Christian, but just not today. I transformed, praying to the trees. God is taking shape. My mother's mother followed me for years in her afterlife, staring at me on back of some buses. I wake up at night, loved her dearly, traded in my tears for a Range Rover. Transformation, you ain't felt grief till you felt it sober.
Wish it was somebody, anybody but myself. I wish it was somebody, anybody but myself.
I remember looking in the mirror, knowing I was gifted, only child, me for 7 years, everything for Christmas, family ties. They accused my cousin, did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. Frozen moments, still holding on it, hard to trust myself. I started rhyming, coping mechanisms to lift up myself. Talked to my lawyer, told me not to be so hard on myself. He has an aura I hope to achieve. If I find some help, congratulations, made it to be famous. Still I feel uneasy, water watching, live my life in nature. Only thing relieves me, spirit guide, whisper in my ear, tell me that she sees me. Did he touch you? I said no again, still they didn't believe me. Mother's brother said he got revenge for my mother's face, black and blue, the image of my queen that I can't erase. Till this day, can't look her in the eyes, pain is taking over, blame myself. You never felt guilt till you felt it sober.
Wish it was somebody, anybody but myself. I wish it was somebody, anybody but myself.
I was never high, I was never drunk, never held my mind, I need control. They handed me some smoke, but still I declined, I did it sober. Sitting with myself, I went through all emotions, no dependence, except for one. Let me bring you closer, intoxicated. There's a lustful nature that I failed to mention, insecurities that I project, sleeping with other women. Whitney's hurt, the pure soul I know. I found her in the kitchen, asking God, where did I lose myself? And can it be forgiven? Broke me down, she looked me in my eyes. Is there an addiction? I said no, but this time I lied. I knew that I can't fix it. Pure soul, even in her pain. Know she cared for me, gave me a number. Said she recommended some therapy. I asked my mama why she didn't believe me when I told her no. I never knew she was violated. In Chicago, I'm sympathetic. Told me that she feared it happened to me for my protection. Though it never happened, she wouldn't agree. Now I'm affected. 20 years later, trauma has resurfaced, amplified. As I write this song, I shiver cause I'm nervous. I was 5, questioning myself, long for many years. Nothing's wrong, just results on how them questions made me feel. I made it home, 7 years of tour, chasing manhood, but Whitney's gone. By the time you hear this song, she did all she could. All those women gave me superpowers. What I thought I lacked, I pray our children don't inherit me and feeling sidetracked. A conversation not being addressed in black families. The devastation haunting generations and humanity. They raped our mothers, then they raped our sisters, then they made us watch, then made us rape each other. Psychotic torture between our lives, we ain't recovered. Still living as victims in the public eyes who pledge allegiance. Every other brother has been compromised. I know the secrets. Every other rapper sexually abused. I see them daily, burying their pain in chains and tattoos. So listen close before you start to pass judgment on how we move, learn how we cope. Whenever his uncle had to walk him from school, his anger grows deep in misogyny. This is post-traumatic. Black families and a side of me today is still active. So I set free myself from all the guilt that I thought I made. So I set free my mother, all the hurt that she titled shame. So I set free my cousin K chaotic for my mother's pain. I hope Hakeem made you proud, cause you ain't die in vain. So I set free the power of Whitney, may she heal us all. So I set free our children, make good karma, keep them with God. So I set free the hearts filled with hatred, keep our bodies sacred. As I set free all your abusers, this is transformation.
Anybody but myself. Oh, I wish I was somebody. Anybody but myself.
You did it. I'm proud of you. You broke a generational curse. Say thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you, brother. Mr. Morale.
Oh. Before I go and fast asleep, love me for me. I bear my soul and now we're free.
I don't even know what to say. There's nothing I can say to that. Legend's getting up because he's an emotional support animal. Like, actually, he was with me through my stalker stuff and all that came before that. And so anyways, anytime, like, I forget that, like, when I get emotional, like, he's gonna find me and I feel bad. I'm sorry, puppy. You can lay down though. I'm okay. It's just the songs. I literally don't even know how to talk about this because this is so, like, deeply personal. He just lays it all out there for people, and I just, oh my god, this would be hard to go through behind closed doors. Can you imagine putting this out to the literal world? I felt the same way about you. Thank God there's artists out there who are willing to do stuff like this, because you have to bring this stuff into the light of day. It doesn't do any good in the shadows. It's not just pulling it out of the closet between you and your therapist. I mean, this is a whole other level. I hate to say it's so beautifully written because I hate to even put beautiful in the same sentence as this because of just like how gut-wrenching it is and how traumatic, but at the same time, just the way he did this is just his ability to set things up. I hate to call it a story because it's his truth, but I just mean it in like the storytelling aspect. The way he wove the story so authentic and raw and real, while also having the storytelling element that allows you to see a very whole perspective. Because, sorry, I'm like trying to figure out how to word things. He picks up the story where he's like currently at and where he's been, his journey. Also, bout broke me that it has family ties. Just that is like a component of this. When he came back first time before like the heart is family ties, and then it comes up. I guess what I'm trying to say is the way his storytelling, how he picks up throughout the timelines. Like, he's not going in chronological, he's picking up and weaving through, and you're with it the whole time. It's hard to convey in a song a timeline. Do a timeline where you're talking about the past that the public would know, his childhood, how it's affecting him now, where he's been, things we didn't know, like how it's woven. Storytelling is unbelievable. How it affected him growing up, how it affected him today, how it's connected to the trauma that we've explored, and all of these facets of himself, especially between his ego aspect and these threads that you can all kind of connect back, and then especially throughout the whole album, showing how it's all connected. Not only his coping mechanisms, but also like how he like internally felt, you know, the I need the control, no depends except for one, explaining like his lust addiction. And then you feel like you're in the booth with him because he's like, now I'm affected 20 years later, trauma has resurfaced, amplified as I write this song, a shiver because I'm nervous. Like you feel like you're there with him as he's saying it. This doesn't feel like something you're listening to. You feel like you're in the booth with him. It's kind of how on Good Kid, Mad City, how it felt like we were a bystander in the story. That's how this song felt. And then he zooms out to show not only the history, because it's just listening to that one, oh God, one verse about, you know, they made us. Who pledged allegiance? God, I don't even remember which one, but talking about how people act like slavery was so long ago. And it's like, my God, like there are people still alive that experienced segregation. It was not that long ago. Our country's life is, at this point, as I'm filming this, 249 years old. I mean, that's not that many generations back. And people act like this was so long ago, and it's like, no, it wasn't. How it's affecting till today, bringing up in society, like how this is affecting his communities, bringing up, you know, different key people, Tyler Perry, Oprah, that was the last song, I think, right? And then for that to kind of bleed into this, I just, wow, God, it just breaks your heart. He was 5, his mom. Talking about his grandmother, years in her afterlife, staring at me on the back of some buses. I wake up at night and there's just like the punishment and the guilt. God, I'm just reading some of the lines. And then to end it with his kids and Whitney, how he releases everything at the end too. It's like he bears his soul and then he releases it all at the end because he wants to break the cycle and not keep perpetuating it. And then for Whitney to come in and it's like, I'm proud of you. Oh God, I know I'm just like rambling. I guess in summary, I just so appreciate him doing that. Can't imagine bearing your soul to the world like that. It kills me too because it's like all these people who have things to say about him taking a step back and all that stuff while he's struggling. And this is the perfect example of like, you just don't know what someone's going through. I hope everyone appreciated this album the way it deserves, because I think the part that's the most mind-boggling to me, despite the pain, the trauma, everything, the way that the public treated him when he took a step back, he still is doing this not only for himself but also because he still believes in the idea that he wants to make change. It would have been so easy for him to be like, you know what, screw y'all, but he's still doing it. Let's do this last track and see if I can summarize at the end. I quite frankly don't. Go ahead and lower your expectations now because I don't know that I will be capable of that. But last track, Mirror.
The pressure's taking over me, it's beginning to loom. Better if I spare your feelings and tell you the truth. Lately I redirected my point of view. You won't grow waiting on me. I can't live in the matrix, rather fall short of your graces. This time I won't trade places. Not about who's right, who's wrong. Evolve the only thing known. Ask me when I'm coming home. Blink twice again, I'm gone. I chose me, I'm sorry. I chose me, I'm sorry. I chose me, I'm sorry.
Good.
I chose me, I'm sorry. I chose me, I'm sorry. I chose me, I'm sorry. She woke up in the morning for the daily news. I was so low mourning through the family feuds. Baby, I told your story and laid down all the rules. Still you won't grow waiting on me. I chose me, I'm sorry. 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 Cause all of it's toxic. Girl, I'm not relevant to giving no profit. Personal gain of my pain is nonsense. Darling, my demons is off the leash for a mosh pit. Baby, I just had a baby, you know she need me. Working on myself and counseling is not easy. Don't you point a finger just to point a finger, cause critical thinking is a deal breaker. Faith in one man is a ship sinking. Do yourself a favor and get a mirror that mirror grievance. They pointed at me so the reflection can mirror freedom. She told me that she need me the most, I didn't believe her. She even called me names on the post, the world can see it. Jokes and gaslighting, mad at me cause she didn't get my vote. She say I'm trifling, disregarding the way that I cope with my own vices. Maybe it's time to break it off, run away from the culture to follow my heart. I realize
That sounds very specific. Instead of just saying like they, he said she. Girl, I'm not relevant to giving on profit. Personal gain off my pain, it's nonsense. Darling, my demons, I love that line. Darling, my demons is off the leash for a mosh pit. Bar. Baby, I just had a baby, you know she need me. Working on myself, the counseling not easy. Explaining kind of where he's been as a conclusion to this. Don't you point a finger just to point a finger, because critical thinking is a deal breaker. God, that's not the truth. Faith in one man is a sinking ship. Oh, do yourself a favor and get a mirror that mirror grievance. Then point it at me so the reflection can mirror freedom. Ooh, did someone like, wait, didn't y'all comment? There was a rapper, right? In the Heart Part 5, something kind of like similar, or is this something else? Regardless, the point still stands.
maybe it's time to break it off, run away from the culture to follow my heart. I realize true love not saving face, but unconditional. Where will you let me go? I trust you find independence. If not, then all is forgiven. Sorry I didn't save the world, my friend. I was too busy building mine again. I choose me, I'm sorry. 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 I choose me, I'm sorry.
Beautiful final track. Not only does it like wrap everything up, you see the lessons he's learned, but he's also still giving advice. He's still trying to help everyone while still putting boundaries. It shows the growth of the journey so well. I think there's a beauty, especially this like, I realize true love's not saving face, but unconditional. When will you let me go? I trust you'll find independence. He's like, I believe in you guys. I believe you guys can. If I can go on this journey, so can you. If not, then all's forgiven. Sorry I didn't save the world, my friend. I was too busy building mine again. I'm not going to apologize. Look at the journey I went on. You can't put all your faith in me. This is obviously much bigger scale, but like it's applicable. If you've ever been someone that people are like completely reliant upon you, that can only last for so long. No one can handle that for a long time. There comes a point where you have to say like, listen, you'll have to fly and do your own thing. I want to help, I want to be here, but I also have to protect my own peace. It goes back to what we talked about literally at the beginning of this. You have to put your air mask on to help anybody else. Production of that, the way it flowed, this was not only like perfect closing album track, but it feels like the perfect end to essentially this musical that we've watched. This feels like something that you would watch at the end of the play to close it out, the last final number. It imparts the highlight pieces, run away from the culture to follow my heart. Okay, well, final thoughts. I don't even know. I read a comment, I want to say it was Mac D who said this. Yeah, it was Mac D. I know everyone is saying you're not ready for Mr. Morale, and emotionally they'd be correct, but I think out of all the albums, we're about to see you the most prepared out of all of them. Honestly, now that I've gone through this, good prediction, I think I agree. This is just me kind of reflecting upon my experience. This has nothing to do with the album itself, one being better than the, it has nothing to do with anything other than just my experience. I do agree because this one was, to me, something I probably feel the most comfortable talking about in a way. This reflection and the self-discovery and journey and the living in one's head and a healing journey. I feel like my mind isn't totally in pieces. Now, granted, I have to acknowledge that perhaps the reason my brain isn't, totally broken is partially because this was filmed over 2 days instead of 1. Even with taking that in consideration, I still feel more prepared in a way. Emotionally not prepared, but I felt like I had a better grasp of this one going into it than I have any of the other ones, and I feel like I understand the majority of it more with this album than any of the rest of them, especially like Damn, right? Like I really had to sit with that one. I have no doubt that I will still pick up on things and continue, but I do feel like my brain kind of grasped this one a little bit better than the other albums, which is just kind of a cool experience. I also think part of that is obviously all of them have been very different, but there's something about this one that just feels like everything that we've learned from Kendrick about Kendrick along the way kind of coalesced to here, where I feel like from like a pattern recognition standpoint, I feel like I had a more grasp of where this could go just from what I've learned from all the other albums, if that makes sense. I feel like normally by the end of an album, I literally can't string together a coherent sentence. It really did feel like a play, and it was very visual for me, kind of like Good Kid, Mad City, because the things that they almost kind of represent are like a visual story. In a way, the poem has a little bit more complexity, and you kind of have to dig into it, and you really didn't learn the full picture until the end. Not that you didn't hear either, but it was just different. I really liked this one though. Maybe that's my like inner theater coming out. I love a good play or a musical, so I really enjoyed the production elements of this one. It has some of my favorite songs of his, or like favorite lines. I've talked about this before. It's hard for me to pick favorites. It's hard for me to compare things because I can rationalize things too much, but I can say that there are some really standout tracks. This one also has had some of the most relatability to my inner world, how I process things sometimes, and just kind of seeing that resonate was really cool. This video is obnoxiously long, and I only have a little bit to finish editing it. So, but overall, beautiful. Just beautiful. I think from like a personal standpoint, it's the reason why like I love Taylor Swift stuff, it's like connecting with someone. He's always been so vulnerable and raw and authentic, but this is a very personal journey, and I have so much respect for him and his family. He's not just sharing his own, he's sharing others, and I think it's important that we recognize that Whitney allowing parts that involve her to be told, to understand his creativity and his artistic vision, and knowing that this is how he processes things is through his music, through his artistry, his family, his mom. I have so much respect for his mom, allowing her story to be a part of this, and it's just so personal, and to allow that to be consumed by the world. I just really hope that people gave this album the love, respect that it deserves, because for everyone involved, this is unbelievably brave. This is truly like sacrificing in a way, sacrificing public to not only hear this, listen to this, but be able to comment on it and to be able to critique. It's very vulnerable and real. I can't even verbalize how much I respect everyone involved, but especially Whitney and his mom. To believe in Kendrick's vision, to believe in not only the healing for himself, but what he feels like this could do for the world. I just really want to highlight them because, not to diminish Kendrick in any way. He's a mastermind, he's a genius, he is just unbelievably talented, and I've had so much respect for him this whole journey, but I just really want to give kudos to both of them, because there's just not a lot of people in this world that would be willing to do that, and I think that they are just some really incredible people for that. For what it's worth, for this random person on the internet to say like thank you, because that is just unbelievable. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts eventually, but that's all I got today. So as always, let me know your thoughts. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What did I miss? And until the next one.